My best friend disappeared 10 years ago. Everyone assumed he was dead, until I saw him on my couch last night, flipping through the TV channels like nothing had changed. Where have you been? I asked, trembling. He smiled. You invited me over last night. I checked my phone. I had. But I didn't remember. It was the summer of 2015 in a small town in Oregon. My best friend, Alex, and I had been inseparable since childhood. We did everything together, camping, fishing, even getting into trouble at school. But one day, Alex vanished without a trace. The entire town searched for him, but after weeks of no leads, everyone assumed the worst. A memorial was held, and life slowly moved on, though I never truly accepted his disappearance. The return 10 years later, on a quiet Tuesday evening, I returned home from work, exhausted and ready to unwind. As I entered my living room, I froze. There, sitting on my couch, was Alex, casually flipping through TV channels. Alex? I whispered, my voice trembling. He turned to me with a smile. Hey, you invited me over last night. I pulled out my phone, heart pounding. Sure enough, there was a message sent from my phone inviting him over. But I had no memory of sending it. The unanswered questions. I sat down across from him, trying to process what was happening. Where have you been all these years? I asked. He shrugged. It's a long story. Maybe another time. His evasiveness only deepened the mystery. I noticed subtle differences in him, his mannerisms, his speech patterns. It was as if he was Alex, but not entirely. The investigation determined to find answers. I began digging into Alex's disappearance. I revisited old news articles, police reports, and even spoke to his family. They were as shocked as I was to learn he had returned. But when they came to see him, he was gone. No trace of him, as if he had vanished again. The obsession. I became obsessed with uncovering the truth. I installed security cameras in my home, hoping to catch any sign of Alex. I scoured online forums, looking for similar stories. That's when I stumbled upon a thread about people who had disappeared and reappeared years later, unchanged and with no memory of their absence. The revelation: one night, while reviewing footage from my security cameras, I saw something chilling. The moment Alex appeared on my couch, there was a brief distortion in the video, a flicker, almost like a glitch. I slowed it down, frame by frame, and saw a shadowy figure standing behind him, just for a split second. The confrontation. I couldn't ignore it any longer. I needed answers. I set up another meeting with Alex, this time at a public place. When he arrived, I confronted him with the footage. He looked at me, expressionless, and said, "Some things are better left unknown." After that meeting, Alex disappeared again. No one has seen or heard from him since. But sometimes, late at night, I receive messages from unknown numbers, cryptic phrases, coordinates, and images that make no sense. I don't know what they mean, but I can't shake the feeling that Alex is trying to tell me something. The first message came 2 nights after Alex vanished again. It was 3:12 a.m. My phone buzzed on the nightstand. I was half asleep, annoyed, ready to ignore it. But then I saw the screen. Unknown number, do you remember what happened on the riverbank? I sat up straight, heart punching against my ribs. The riverbank. That was the last place I saw Alex 10 years ago before he disappeared. We had been camping. Drinking cheap beer, talking about the future, laughing like we always did. Then he went to take a leak and never came back. I tried calling the number. It went straight to voicemail. No caller ID. No trace. The next day I drove out to the river. Everything looked the same: tall pines, dirt trails, the water moving like it didn't care what it saw. But something about the air felt heavier. I walked to the exact spot we camped. Nothing. No clues. But when I turned to leave, I saw something carved into the bark of a tree. It wasn't there 10 years ago. I'm sure of it. I remember too. I took a photo. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped the phone. Back home, the messages kept coming. Unknown number, the night doesn't forget. Stop asking questions. He's not your friend anymore. I stopped sleeping. I read every single thing I could find about time loss, doppelgangers, people slipping between places. None of it helped. None of it made sense. Then a video appeared in my Dropbox. I didn't upload it. No one has the password. The video showed me walking into the woods with Alex 10 years ago. But I never went in. I stayed at the fire. In the video, I follow him deep into the trees. There's no sound, just the rustling of branches. And then, the camera shakes violently. A screech, too high to be human. Then black. But I'm sure of one thing, whoever that was, it wasn't me. I showed the video to my brother. He watched in silence, then said, "Why are there two of you?" I couldn't answer. I didn't want to. I still don't. I started getting headaches. Bad ones. Blinding pain behind my eyes. And sometimes, I see flashes, like memories, but they don't belong to me. In them, I'm walking through a hallway I've never seen, made of black stone, endless doors on each side. I hear whispers. My name, over and over, like a prayer, or a warning. One night I blacked out. I woke up lying in the woods behind my house. No shoes. Shirt torn. Hands covered in dirt. And there was a symbol drawn in the ground around me. Perfect circle. Sharp lines. Almost mathematical. But I couldn't find it online. Like it wasn't meant for us to understand. I started questioning reality. I recorded everything. Every night. Hoping to catch something. Anything. And I did. 3 days ago, I watched the footage and saw myself sleepwalking. I stood up in the middle of the night, eyes open but empty. Walked to the living room. Sat on the couch. Flipped through TV channels. Just like Alex did. But here's the part that still makes me sick. When I paused the video, someone was sitting next to me. Barely visible. A pale face. Black eyes. Smiling. When I zoomed in, the figure looked just like Alex. Except, his mouth was too wide. His skin didn't move right. And those eyes, black like holes in the world. I've tried everything. New phone. New number. They still come. Unknown number, you let him in. He brought the others. It's too late now. I don't know who they are. But I hear things now. Scratching in the walls. Voices in the vents. Sometimes I see people on the street who shouldn't be there. A man in a gray coat, standing too still. A little girl with no pupils humming a tune I swear I know but can't place. Then they vanish. It's like reality is starting to crack. Last night I opened my fridge and it wasn't my fridge anymore. It was wrong. Bigger inside. Not deep, long, like a hallway of metal shelves. I saw movement in the back and slammed it shut. I locked every door. Boarded the windows. But that doesn't matter. I woke up this morning with muddy footprints across my floor. Not mine. And this time, it wasn't Alex. It was me. It was standing over my bed, watching me sleep. He smiled. He looked just like me, but wrong. Skin too pale. Hair hanging wet. His eyes were blank. Like a doll's. Before he walked away, he whispered, "You came back. You don't remember, but you did." I keep trying to tell myself I'm losing it. That this is stress, grief, a breakdown a decade in the making. But that thing, whatever came back pretending to be Alex, it knew too much. It remembered jokes we made when we were 12. My locker combination. My mom's favorite pie recipe. And now it's not just him. There are others. I see them in crowds. Walking past me like shadows in the shape of people I used to know. My high school chemistry teacher who died 5 years ago. My childhood neighbor who moved to Florida but swore we'd never see each other again. They all look off. And they all stare too long. Whatever happened that night at the riverbank didn't just take Alex. It took something from me, too. I'm afraid it's coming back to collect the rest. I couldn't take it anymore. After the last message, you were supposed to stay. I packed a bag and drove. No plan. Just got in the car and left Oregon. I figured maybe if I got far enough away, I could leave all of it behind. The visions. The messages. The thing wearing my friend's skin. But 2 states in, I stopped for gas in a dusty little Nevada town. No name on the sign. Just, food, gas, rooms. I pulled into the lot, and as I got out, I saw something in the corner of my eye. The gas station TV inside the store was on. Alex's face was on it. Not in a news report. Not a missing persons thing. He was on a game show. Laughing. Buzzing in answers. Wearing a name tag that said, Mark. My name. I rushed in and pointed. Who is that? The old cashier didn't even look up. That show ain't on no more, he said. Reruns from decades ago. But that's not possible, I said. That's him. That's my friend. The cashier finally looked up, slow and heavy, like it hurt. His eyes were a cloudy gray, like wet ash. Some people get out, he said. But they leave parts behind. I got back in the car, shaking, and drove until the tank ran dry. That night, I stayed in a motel off the road. Flickering sign. Stained carpet. One of those places you check into but never brag about. I locked every door. Wedged a chair under the knob. Sat up in bed holding a kitchen knife. I thought I was safe. Until I looked at the mirror. There were handprints. On the inside. I ran. Left the bag, left the keys. Just sprinted down the highway like a lunatic until a truck driver stopped and picked me up. He didn't talk for a long time. Just drove. Finally, he said, "You seen one of M, haven't you?" I didn't answer. "I seen M too," he said. "Used to be my brother. Came back one day actin' like nothing happened. But he smelled like iron. Eyes all wrong. He asked me where I'd buried the dog. The trucker looked at me then. I never told nobody I buried that dog. He dropped me off in Arizona and told me not to contact anyone I loved. Not until I figured out what I brought back. I rented a small cabin near Flagstaff. Quiet. Cold. No neighbors. For 2 weeks, nothing happened. I thought maybe it was over. Maybe distance really helped. But then I woke up one morning and found something nailed to my front door. A photograph. Of me. Sleeping. With something crouched beside me. Pale. Grinning. Watching. I burned it. But it didn't stop. Messages started coming through the fireplace. Not emails. Not texts. Actual pieces of paper. Folded, yellow, old-looking, falling from the ashes like snow. Each one with the same sentence. You can't run from where you've been. I set up cameras again. Hid them this time. Didn't sleep for 3 days. On the 3rd night, I caught it. The thing wasn't entering the house. I was leaving. Every night, around 2:47 a.m., I'd get up. Eyes open, face blank. Unlock the door and walk into the woods behind the cabin. I was sleepwalking, sure, but not randomly. I followed the same path. Always the same. I memorized it from the footage, and on the fourth night, I followed myself. Flashlight off. Quiet steps. I saw it. A clearing deep in the woods. Dead trees forming a perfect circle. In the center, a massive stone with symbols carved into it. Ones I'd seen before, in dreams. On my fridge. In the shape of the scars forming on my arms without injury. I was kneeling before the stone. Whispering. But I wasn't alone. There were others around me. Not people. Things wearing people. A woman with her mouth sewn shut, but eyes that blinked backward. A child with a wolf's jaw stretched too wide. A man in a tattered suit whose skin moved like it was underwater. And Alex. Or what used to be him. They were all watching me, smiling like parents at a school play. And I, the real me, the one hiding in the trees, started to remember. I did go into the woods that night. 10 years ago. I followed Alex. We found that stone. We touched it. Something answered. I don't know what it was. Not God. Not the devil. Something older. Hungrier. It didn't want us to leave. So we made a deal. One of us could go back. One had to stay. But that wasn't all. We agreed to switch, every 10 years. And the moment I remembered that, I felt something crack in my skull. Not pain, pressure. Like a door unlocking. I stumbled back to the cabin, shaking. Locked the doors. Cried until my face went numb. And then I saw the new message. Not a note this time. It was carved into the inside of my bedroom wall. Time's up. I didn't sleep. Couldn't. But I must have passed out eventually, because when I woke up this morning, the sky was red. Not like a sunset. Like it was bleeding. And in the distance, I heard footsteps. Not one person. A crowd. Coming toward the cabin. I grabbed the knife again. Useless, but it felt right. I went to the front door and opened it. Alex was there. But he wasn't smiling this time. He looked tired. I don't want to go back, he said. Then don't, I told him. He looked at me, eyes black, face twitching like static. You don't understand. It's not about want. And behind him, they all stood. Watching. Waiting. My turn. I stepped forward, and the world shifted. I felt my body stretch, twist, unmake itself. The air changed. Heavy. Cold. Smelled like metal and rot. The sky above me wasn't sky anymore. It was eyes. And mouths. And whispers in a language I've started to understand. I'm not in your world now. But soon, you'll see me again. Maybe in the corner of your mirror. Or flipping through your TV channels. Like nothing ever changed. Because in 10 years, it'll be my turn again. And this time, I might not come alone. You ever try screaming and nothing comes out? That's what it's like here. This place, where I am now, isn't a forest, or a room, or even a world. It's something in between. It moves. It watches. The ground hums like a heartbeat. The sky groans like something massive is turning over in its sleep. I don't breathe here. I just exist. I think. Time doesn't work right. Sometimes I see flashes of things, real things. Your world. Someone's kitchen. A birthday party. A baby crying. All playing out like memories on the wall, but none of them are mine. Sometimes I see you. Whoever's reading this. Sometimes I see your face staring into a screen, thinking this is just a creepy story. Smiling. Maybe even laughing. But I see you. And you'll see me soon. Because we're connected now. That's how this thing works. Whoever reads the story, even just one line of it, they open a crack. That's how I got out before. That's how Alex did. That's how the others came through. They don't need a ritual. They don't need candles or chants. They just need your eyes. And now that you've read this far, I'm sorry. It means you've invited one of us in. Not Alex. Not me. Someone else. Who you get depends on what's missing in you. A regret. A lie. An old wound you never healed. That's the door they come through. And they don't knock. You'll hear something strange tonight. Might be your name whispered from a closet. Or a static voice on the TV that says, "We remember." Don't answer. Don't look. And whatever you do, don't go to sleep. Because once you do, you'll dream. And when you dream, you'll see the stone. You'll hear the whispers. And you'll make a deal. Just like we did. Just like everyone does. Eventually. If you're still here, reading this, maybe you think you're safe. Maybe you think none of this is real. Then ask yourself, why did the lights flicker just now? Why did your phone buzz with no message? Why do you suddenly feel like someone is standing behind you? Go ahead. Turn around. I'll wait. We all will. Because now that you've read this, it's your turn.